You know, I reached out to fans these past 2 years and said, change our rules. Like, give us some examples of how you'd like to change our rules. We listened to them last year, we listened to them this year, we made several rule changes based on their feedback. And I think I look at this and saying our fans are shareholders, they're stakeholders in this league, and professional sports need to do that. They need to really put the fans at the center of everything they do. And I think there's a renaissance in the CFL. You know, we came out with a campaign about 2 years ago called This Is Our League. And it tapped into what we felt was this underlying patriotism in this country. It came to light at the Olympics. We felt it 3-4 years ago with our Grey Cup, and it's been remarkable for us. You know, that campaign has really tapped into heartstrings of Canadians and make them feel proud of the Canadian Football League, and that's exactly what we're doing. I was out at the Olympics for 4 days. I was doing a whole bunch of media interviews, and most of the media asked me, what do you think of this? And I said, it's like a Grey Cup, you know, with Finns and Swedes and Russians involved. And many of the media said, it's like 17 Grey Cups in a row. And that was the feeling I had when you walked on the streets, when you were on Robson or Granville, and people walking around, you got this sense of pride in Canadian, pride in our athletes, and we get to experience that you know, every year at the Grey Cup. And I think that's one strong thing about our brand. I thought what you saw after the Olympics were a lot of companies trying to, you know, join the patriotic bandwagon. And if you're not authentically that, I think consumers can see through that. I think the fact that we are authentically Canadian, that we're part of the culture of this country, in a few years we're going to celebrate our 100th Grey Cup, it bodes well for our league. Will the Olympics have a positive impact on sport in Canada and the support of our athletes? And I think it will. I think you saw at the beginning of the Olympics a lot of questions of whether they're going to continue to fund, you know, owning the podium. And I think, as you saw at the end of the Olympics, that the government is stepping up. Corporations are stepping up to support athletes. I know personally, I've decided to fund one of the athletes for the Olympics in London through Can Fund and the people who support Canadian athletes. So I think you're going to see a lot more people take pride in investing in Canadian athletes. I think the world saw the patriotism that we had towards our country and thought differently about Canadians. I think that's going to help in future investment in this country. I think right now with what's going on in the world, there's a pride. Our cities are great. Vancouver is a great city. It showed well for the rest of the world. Toronto, we should be proud of what's happening in this city and the cultural renaissance that's going on in Toronto. What's happening in the banking sector, we didn't have the implosion like the rest of the world. I think we're sort of a beacon of light in many ways and a great example for the rest of the world. And I think Canadians are starting to take more pride in that. We just have to be a little bit more American and sell ourselves and take pride in that. And I think that's great. I'm really excited that we're doing it. I tell you, my first Grey Cup in 2007, I'm not trying to be corny, but when they sang the national anthem and 53,000 people belted it out at the Rogers Centre, you know, it was an emotional moment for me. You know, I realized that it's not about just being a CEO and executive. I am a steward of something that is important to the culture of this country and intimately important to millions and millions of Canadians. And you take that, you know, with a real heavy heart, and knowing that what you do every day means a lot to people. You know, it's not about selling a widget. It's about something people are passionate about. It's something that's passed on to generations and generations. And it's something that, you know, as a country, we have a real sense of pride. And I really am fortunate to be in this role.